I'm here.
Well, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see all of you.
Yeah, you too, Mona.
Some words that we have for today is balance, balancing, so balance, letting go, peace, calm, love, choice, experience,
and thirsty.
thirsty. Thank you, Ines. And if I missed anything else, my apologies.
Sometimes I struggle with balance because it seems like there are times that some things overwhelm a little bit and it kind of drags you in a direction maybe you're not really wanting to go yet.
If I could connect to that, I would say like dragging you in that direction is like a unwillingness to go to it, like a not wanting to engage with it, or even unknowingly how to engage with it. There's a lot of things that probably happen that we would wish didn't. Or life could be good without them. So we think. Is that kind of aligned, Mona?
Yeah.
Thanks.
There was an instance recently. My sister and I are not quite on good speaking terms. And he tried to hurry up the process by making the situation available where both of us would be in the same place at the same time. Normally, if I walked into a situation like that in the past, I would have had a part-time personality show up. I'd have been very angry and would have reacted immediately to that. But instead, it took me about 3 days to finally get around to asking him what was the purpose of that. And he told me what his purpose was, that it was an opportunity. But I felt like that I had been set up because he knew I was coming over before he knew my sister was coming over, and he could have warned me. And he didn't. But I handled it well.
Mona Lynn, that's showing up in a moment of chaos in your greatness, as you would in your greatness.
Testament to how far and how much work, how deep this work has gotten for you.
Yeah. And my body had a reaction to what was happening. And I knew instantly to listen to my body and just don't do anything, because I didn't feel like any move would have served any good purpose.
Mm.
Not in the emotional state that I was in.
No move is also a move, and it's a great move. It's being observant.
The cool part was I didn't let myself get obsessed with why did he do that without asking him. I didn't let myself be drawn. I was only like drawn for like 3 days into the situation. Not really a place I wanted to be because of circumstances I didn't present. But I hindsight, I observed it. And once the 3 days were over, it was a done deal. And I didn't let myself get drawn back into it any further.
You let it go.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mona.
We were talking earlier of Good Friday. Today's Good Friday, Easter weekend. It's like 3 days was in that story as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. Good morning, Alison.
Good
Allison.
afternoon and good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Allison.
It's good to hear that you had a good win, Mona.
I was really proud of myself.
Mm.
Very good.
Gave you the opportunity to see the growth you made.
all that in moments of chaos or like uncomfortable, all the blood rushes to the extremities and like to the head, like to be ready to move, to speak, to be on edge. And I listened to you were practicing calm, even though there was chaos on the inside.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever was happening, I didn't let it get me into a tizzy.
Mm.
I didn't follow the emotional roller coaster that was a possibility if I allowed it.
Mm.
Well, like you separated from it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yet it's still running inside of you, but it was like, oh, I put it over there and I could watch what was happening. And for me, it explains the wobble.
And the mastery
Yes, that's the,
mastery of being the leader of the emotional
yeah.
experience rather than the emotions taking us on a ride.
Being the
It's
master.
really good. Sorry, Will, I spoke over you.
I think I spoke over you. Yeah, I was in agreement with you.
Mm-hmm.
Being the master rather than allowing the body or the unconscious to be the master.
Mm.
You felt it in your body, but you separated from the ego and didn't react to it.
Yeah, yeah. For me, that's our purpose in life,
Mhm.
to learn to do that.
Mm.
That brings Heinz's million possibilities.
And what just came in is mastery is a lifetime commitment.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Just write that down.
Good morning,
Morning,
Pascal.
Pascal.
Good morning, guys.
Morning,
Pascal.
Pascal.
we got a full house today.
Yes, isn't
Mm.
that nice?
Where you guys were on yesterday?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Oh, okay. Eventually, yeah. Because I came on at 6:15, I guess. Yeah, and then like you guys were not there, so I was like, okay.
Oh,
So Jesse
shame.
slept in. Okay, all right.
You,
It was a good change, Pascal.
Yeah,
Shake things up a bit.
yeah, exactly. Things were dormant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say bonjour, Pascal.
Oh, bonjour, bonjour. You've been practicing your French?
No.
How have you been?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah? Oh, good.
Getting back to reality, get a little off course sometimes, and we come back.
Yeah.
Of course, it's just new experiences.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Outside the comfort zone.
Yeah.
I just love the collective wisdom here in this group. There's just so much wisdom and experience and discernment. Such a gift to have you guys here, to be with you.
It's nice to hear your voice, Will.
And you will.
Yeah. And have your wisdom.
I think last time we heard from you, you were going on a trip. Did it go well?
What's it?
Last time we heard from you, you were going on a trip. I can't remember where it was, but 7 days, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
That
that was
go well.
Austin, Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Ah.
That was like, wow, that was November. My goodness.
How time flies.
Life happens, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, so the theme is balancing life. And that's choices, experiences, beliefs hardwired in, what we urges that we think are right, and just pausing.
Mm.
Learning to experience the experience. It's like growing up. It's like learning as a child. We step into the unknown and explore it.
That's what the unknown is there for us to explore.
And Mona sharing what I call the wobble. It's like a hard time holding balance was what she shared and I think it like did a great job holding her balance and saying like, oh, my wobble lasted. So something about the wobble, the wiggle, the giggle in terms of time. There's times like there's only one time, and that to me is in the giggle because it happens so quickly. So like that's the only one that happens quickly. It's like the wobble can be quick and it can take a long time.
Yeah. The wiggles too.
The wiggles too, yes. I remember
So just
And the giggles too.
yeah,
The giggles and the wobbles.
And then you're back to the wobble.
yeah. Oh, you don't stay out of yours?
Of course I do. Of course.
But if we look at it, the giggle is the goal. So the goal is where you end at it. So it's fast. If it's a marathon, of course, the wiggle will take time and the wobble when you're starting, it hurts. Long way to 40.2 kilometers, 0.5.
And don't forget that 0.5, because that is the longest last 0.5 that there is.
Yep. I've seen on YouTube people 10, 15 meters before goal not being able to do it, and the one in front actually stops up and helps them.
That's amazing. That's how it should be, eh?
Yeah.
And then you can
Oh.
like that is a metaphor for our purposes and goals in life.
Mhm.
Just because you go for it doesn't mean you get there as you would expect it, as you would think that it had to be. It's always just right there, just over the horizon, they say. Or maybe that's just hope to keep us going.
Hope is a great thing.
Very much. Be quite empty if we didn't have it.
Mm.
Man, it's really, I don't want to say it comes from nowhere, but man, does it seem like it does.
Mm. That's grace, though.
Great, you're
Oh,
sure about it, so you let me know.
nowhere is somewhere.
Nowhere
You're
is
great.
somewhere. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. I already had that one.
Good one.
Then you can take it to anywhere.
Because it actually is always there. It's just whether we open ourselves to it or not.
And
I
when we
think.
do open ourselves to it, then it's like, oh, there it is, right? When we're open
Yeah.
to it, it's there it is. And then we wonder, where did it go?
Yeah.
And yes, like Mona's mastery, yeah, it took 3 days to come back to it. So what? The
That's
wiggle
short.
lasted 3 days.
Mine can last a month at times.
Yeah, they can last years,
Decades.
lifetimes, generations.
Yeah.
Just depends on how deep do we want to look.
And we can shift our entire family by finding that, becoming aware of it, and shifting it. When we shift it within ourselves, we shift our family. When we shift our family, we shift our town little bit by bit. When we shift our town, city, we shift our state or province. When we shift our state or province, we shift the country. And eventually, bit by bit, as we all do our own work, we shift the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Bring us back to who we really are.
Like what we talked about yesterday, the snowball effect.
Mm.
Starts with one.
Fibonacci sequence.
Mhm.
I like that one.
Mm.
But you're right, it starts with one.
Power of one.
And that one is sacrificing the comfortable, the normal, the automatic response or pattern or habit.
And starts exploring the unknown.
Mhm. The other side of it. Awareness of what it is. Why is it there? And it's not. I was going to say it's like the extreme edges is really where one, I find it the hardest, but also where the biggest insights come from.
Mm. Mm.
When we're in joy and we're really in the moment enjoying it flow, there's really not a whole lot to really like look at with it. It's just like to just soak it up even more. Because I find like those moments, it's like that's my real purpose. That's my real joy in life. And it's like then when I'm aware of it, I can always come back to it at a future time. It's those moments of chaos or crisis or pressure or threat, really what it is, a threat that, man, we just boom, jump into action, respond, and later on we're not happy with how we responded.
Mm.
I
Mm.
mean, that's one way. The other one is we just we don't even have remorse for how we responded.
Mm.
We justified, validated, deserving of our response, and that's the most dangerous position. Entitled to our response. As Mona said, and I loved it, she was like, oh, and I was blaming him. I was angry at him. And most of it, like those moments of the chaos or the frustration, most of the time it's because we're putting it out there.
Yeah, it's so interesting because we give our power away when we do that, right?
Yeah.
And yet we think that we're protecting ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And it
You
just
can't
leaves
protect
us empty. It just leaves you empty.
Yeah.
It's insanity. You really pull it apart. And even if I say that's so insane, oh, not me. Yeah, all right. I know. We will fight to be right.
And the insanity is only the symptom. It's not even the root of the problem.
Yeah,
that's very well put, Hans.
It's just the crack.
The
crack to see the light. we make it all up anyway.
Hmm.
Why not make it up how we want it?
Mm.
At least
Sure.
stack the cards in our favor.
Even if we get it the way we want, we will still be complaining about
Well, yeah.
it. Now we have to
Well,
protect it.
yeah. And we hold on to it so tight that we lose it.
Mm. We kill it.
Yep. That's the insanity.
One can almost look at holding on too tight as a way of force.
Yeah.
Hi, Annette.
Hello?
Have you been here all the time?
Yes, I've been sitting in the bushes.
With binocular.
I've been sitting and I've been making my coffee. I've had it on mute and I've been, let the dog in, let the dog out. So I've been listening. I've been listening.
Good. I'm so glad.
It's nice to hear your voice in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's contemplating a busy or quiet Easter.
Am I the only one working?
You are
Yeah.
Pascal. Well, right now you are the only one working.
You working hard, Pascal?
Oh, hardly working.
Hardly working.
Now, Pascal, does the blinkers do more work?
I don't know what does most of the work. Yeah.
Hmm.
You're always turning those blinkers on. Always turning.
Yeah, always turning right.
Not wrong.
That's the one that goes out all the time.
Right,
On a
guys, I'm
side
going to say
note,
good night.
okay,
Good
Night,
night,
Allie.
Ellie.
night,
Have a
Alex.
wonderful Easter.
Have a
Morning.
good night's sleep.
Thanks,
Thanks for
guys. Have a
being
great
here.
day.
Bye.
Thanks.
So for those of us that are in Magnetic Mind and are familiar with the Recode, I just wanted to share a little something that I actually purchased the book by Dr. Flint, Gary Flint.
Mm.
That the Recode is basically based off of, and it's like a textbook, and it's really interesting to kind of understand how this all began and how he figured it out, and he how he framed it, and then he mentored Colette Stryker, and she kind of reframed it with superconscious because he talked about it as subconscious.
Mm.
and then Colette mentored Chris, and then Chris brought this work to us. Pretty amazing.
Mm.
I went even deeper, and I got his
So-
other books.
It's always interesting when you go to the source of something, right? I find it's so much richer what it, whatever it is that it's evolved into. But when you see the path that it's gone.
And he's, I believe he passed in 2021. And the funny thing is Dr. Flint actually lived in Vernon, which is maybe about an hour and a half drive from where I grew up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like small world.
Mm-hmm.
And like I could probably drive there in about 2.5 hours, 3 hours from where I live now.
Hmm.
His other book about either healing the mind or healing the soul.
Healing your mind and soul.
Yeah. That one goes way more in depth than the other one does.
Yeah, I got that one too. I've been diving into that one. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it's really a heavy book. Because it starts talking about getting into the dimensions and different things like that.
I still don't fully understand what he means by all these different dimensions. 11 dimensions or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
No, he was a pretty special guy.
Yeah. If it weren't for him, where would we be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
Because
wouldn't
Chris
be
had
here
to start
today.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll be here and now.
We
Right?
wouldn't have met each other.
Exactly. I was just going to say, but Pascal, you would not have had all of us with you.
And we're the best part.
Exactly.
I would have found you guys.
We would have
I
met in
drive
your
all the
dream.
time, right? I drive all the time, so I find people.
I believe it was Flint. If you've gone through the book, the basis was the 2 points.
Structure.
Is that correct?
Yeah, was he the originator of the 2 points?
That's how I held it. He was the healer, wasn't he? Like he'd heal. Or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, I
It
think
may have
so
been
too.
someone else. Yeah.
Because he was a clinical psychologist.
Mhm.
And very sadly was quite isolated in his work.
Mm. Like not accepted by the establishment kind of thing.
Well, I think he had colleagues that were on the same page as what he was exploring, put it that way, but not the regulatory board in Canada, because nobody would put any research into his method. And he tried a long time.
You mean I was if it's him, the guy, how I remember the name was Chris attended one of his seminars. An old lady went up there with her walker, 2 points, boom, threw the walker in the Christmas tree.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that may have been someone else.
There wasn't many words used, many names used in that sequence, so it could have been. But I don't know. I was just wondering if he mentioned 2 points in the book at all. Because to me, the 2 points, yes, is the structure. Where are you? Where do you want to be?
Mm.
And that's where I think the 2 points on the different dimensional scales, ooh, now you've just amplified it exponentially.
Mm.
And so then it's aligning those 2 points throughout the dimensions. We'd call
Just
that
awareness.
balanced or alignment, yeah, through our awareness.
So, Jess, when we ask that question, where are you now? When we answer from our perception of where we are.
And we give it 1, meaning we
Yeah.
give it something. We
Yeah.
make it up. We make something up.
Yeah.
And if you change your point of view, you can actually go in front or behind it, and the 2 points would overlap instead of having a
Exactly.
linear.
Yeah.
Yep. And in most people's lives, and my life before I had a willingness to hear this, right? My 2 points were now and backwards. Like now in the past, or really it was like the now, better yet, I ignored the now. So it was the past and the future. That's probably my better 2 points.
You weren't really present.
Right.
Well,
Because I was always looking back at what I had, looking forward to seeing that I wanted more because back was never enough. And that loop created, well, when I got there, got enough, it was still empty. So, well, might as well go for more.
and when you look at it that way, it's hard to draw a line between the 2 points because you constantly have to shift your point of view.
It's a circle, it's a wheel that's unresolvable.
Yeah. It's based in not enough.
It is, which is my core wounding. Didn't know that before that, and then the awareness is like, oh, no idea, but I could remember like reflecting back. It's like I could always hear that voice way down deep, that would always send to the next action, set the next action in place. When I have blank, then I'll be blank.
Just like me.
That's looking for the answer outside instead of within.
It is. And you'd have told me that 5 years ago, I'd tell you you're full of shit.
Also, I'm eating.
Because I am right.
but you know what, Jesse? Let me say this to you. So I was shown this, like I've said to you guys so many times. I was shown this at 1920. And I don't know that it, I guess what I'm saying is you've only been in it 5 years. And I've been at this for 20 years. And what you gave me inside of this made a massive difference for me. So yeah, I mean it's our timing remains a mystery to me.
Hmm.
You know, in how we get to really embody things that we come across. I'm turning 65 this year, so that's 45 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Will.
Well, like what I'll speak to as I've pondered that myself. It's like for what I've fought against, right? So like fighting against it produces a whole nother view. And so you like early, I think like earlier on accepting it, right? Rather than a longer horizon fighting it.
Mm. And somehow in both ways there was value in both ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You could see both ways could benefit, so collaborate with each other.
Mm. Mm.
So we realized that we're full of shit. So now we can take the garbage out.
That's right. Let it go.
Everybody, garbage don't take breaks.
And just
Yeah.
make it up. Yeah.
Well put, Pascal. There was a neat little analogy a while back about taking the garbage out. And it's interesting, what I also find interesting is just the life stages that we're at because of our bodies and the gifts that we get with each life stage.
Really impresses me is the next generation, like your 13-year-old, how far ahead they are. I just realized my son is way further ahead than I am. Just need a little direction.
Yeah, so the work is always being done in some way or another.
Yeah. Always getting done. That's why timing's so interesting, is we are the ones that are making up the time.
Yes, but still there's I don't know how to explain, there's value to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, and there's value to it. Not but.
Well, I enjoyed being with each and every one of you this morning. Thank you.
Same
Thank
here.
you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. This was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
You all have a
That's
blessed day.
Have a great day.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah,
This
you
was
too.
a great way to start the day. I think I know where I'm going to do today. So
Yeah.
It's
talk
great
later.
to hear your blinker
Bye.
signal sound there, Pascal.
Have a
Yeah,
nice
just
Y'all
with my
later.
snowshoe right now.
Oh no.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, we're
Thanks,
back. We're back
Mona.
in the snow.
Oh no.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Okay,
bye-bye.
bye.